Hey guys, this is Dr. Shumard with Integrated Wellness Center of San Diego and also the author of The Thyroid Epidemic. And today I wanted to start with a story that I was recently having with a patient at a consult. And so it was I believe she was about 40, 45-year-old woman, was coming into the office basically just looking for answers. And her story really started off with about 10 years prior. And at that time, it was after her second child, and she started having problems losing the weight from the baby. So she started like researching things and found out, it's probably some hormonal things that are dealing with from the baby. And she started doing some extreme diets. She tried multiple different types of diets: the Atkins diet, the paleo diet, keto diets, from people who she'd spoken to. She was going and she hired a trainer. She was working out with the trainer 3 to 4 times a week and doing really well, getting good muscle mass, good tone, but she wasn't able to lose the weight. And it was becoming very frustrating for her. On top of that, as the weight continued to gain for her and the inability to lose the weight, she started having problems with energy. Her energy started to becoming really low. Initially, it wasn't too bad. She was able to fight through it, drink some coffee, and then that coffee started happening to be not only in the morning but in the afternoons, and then sometimes even the evening times. So she was really tired during the day, and obviously being a new mom, she had to take care of the kids, and so she was being told probably postpartum depression and all these things that were going on with her body. And then as things progressed, her energy started getting worse, and it started to go into the evening time where she had problems sleeping at night. So she wasn't able to stay asleep. She was waking up multiple times, the inability going back to sleep. So she started taking things like melatonin, because a friend of her told her to do that, and that wasn't working, and it was becoming really frustrating. It was starting to impact her marriage, because she was so tired during the day and not being able to take care of the baby, getting very irritated and frustrated along the way. As things progressed a little further, we're about 3 to 4 years in now at that point, started having some digestive issues, and wasn't really sure what was going on with her gut. She was trying to change the way she was eating, trying to figure it out. And eventually, as things started getting so bad, she decided, maybe I need to go see my doctor. Because what happened was, which is very common I see in my office, is she was having a conversation with a friend, and they were like, well, it sounds like you may have some sort of thyroid issue, because I have a thyroid issue, and that sounds like what I went through. And she was like, a thyroid issue? I've never had a problem with my thyroid in the past, but because this information was in her head, she decided to go meet with her doctor. And they ran a blood test on her, and she had the analysis done, and the doctor said, no, your thyroid looks fine, everything looks great. And so it was really frustrating, because then they really didn't find anything else going on either. And so all she was given was a medication for sleeping and something to help with her stomach, which was called omeprazole. And so she was taking a medication for sleeping, and it was helping her sleeping a little bit at night, but she was waking up really groggy and didn't really feel comfortable taking the medication, but she continued taking it because it was the only way she could sleep. Her stomach was feeling a little bit better, but was still having the digestive issues, and just the fatigue though was getting really, really bad. Her energy was being more depleted. She started having some hair loss as well that was going on at the time. So, and it didn't make any sense to her, because she was doing some online searches and everything pointed towards the thyroid. And so she went back to her doctor again, and the doctor tested the thyroid again, and it was still normal. There was nothing going on. The thyroid is normal. Everything was fine. It was becoming very frustrating. And the doctor was thinking, well, you're a newer mom, you have a second baby, you probably have some depression, that's probably going on right now, you're getting a little bit older, that whole older thing. And so he recommended an antidepressant. So she's now taking a medication for sleep, a medication for her stomach, and an antidepressant now. And even though she doesn't feel depressed, but she's fatigued and depressed about not feeling good, essentially, not anything specific in regards to any life scenarios that are going on there. She felt pretty good about her life, obviously. So as things progressed, and her quality of health started getting worse. Now she couldn't even go out to spend time, going to the park or going and playing with her kids, because she was just getting so tired and fatigued all the time, and just getting more and more frustrated. about what's really going on. And that's when she heard about me. And so I'm telling you this story is because this is the type of stories that I hear every single day in our practice. And maybe someone right now who's watching this can resonate with what I'm referring to, because a lot of the patients that I see in the practice have these symptoms, these problems that are going on, and their doctor is telling them that they're normal, that nothing is specifically going on. And I'm here to tell you that if this is you right now and you're watching this video right now live, or if you're watching it as a follow-up non-live video, then you need to continue watching this, because what I want you to understand is that what's really going on is a major issues inside your body that are not being analyzed or being addressed. For most individuals that are dealing with any kind of chronic health condition, the traditional model is just scratching the surface in most cases. The traditional model is not looking at the underlying mechanisms, the underlying causes of what's specifically going on with your situation. And in many patients that I speak with, when they're being told their thyroid is normal, it's because the analysis is looking at one specific biomarker and not the complete thyroid analysis. So that's what I want to spend a little bit of time on, because again, if this is someone like you, that story resonated with you, and you're in this scenario right now and thinking, maybe I'm a hypochondriac, maybe it is depression, maybe there's something not right, I'm gonna have to live with this for the rest of my life. You do not need to live with this, because in this scenario, it likely could be your thyroid, but another component of the thyroid. It could be another condition as well going on. It could be hormones, right? It could be estrogen resistance. It could be adrenal issues. It could be underlying toxicities. There's a lot of things that could be going on. And unfortunately, in the traditional model, the analysis is just very minimal. And you have to dig deeper, which is why in a functional health model, which is what we do here in the practice, we're going to dig deeper to find